Hi, I'm Jason Letman, and I am excited to be attending a talk on May 2nd, the Global Capitalism, the Cure for World Oppression and Poverty with Dr. Andrew Bernstein. And I'm fortunate enough to have him on the line. And Dr. Bernstein, could you give us just a quick 2-minute synopsis of what people might be hearing and they would want to come?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to start out by pointing out that prior to the development of capitalism, which originates in Britain in the late 18th, turn of the 19th century, people were starving all over the world. This includes, in England itself, in Western Europe, all over the world, literal starvation. People couldn't grow enough food to feed themselves, and their families. This ends with the capitalist era. The English originated the system of individual rights, protecting the rights and the minds of commoners, liberating them to think, to invent new technology, to make advances in science, to invent new technologies, such as James Watt's steam engine, which enables human beings to use machine power, which is simply physicalized or embodied mind power, to now grow crops and create consumer goods. And based on the development, the increased freedom and the advances in science and technology, the British, of course, produced much more food, created vastly greater amounts of consumer goods, starting in the cotton clothing industry, and British living standards rose from the earliest days of capitalism in the late 18th century, in the earliest days of the Industrial Revolution. Capitalism, of course, spread across the Atlantic to North America in Britain's colonies at that time, soon to be the United States of America, where capitalism reaches its fullest development in the late 19th century, and the tremendous freedom and tremendous productivity of America in the late 19th century made the country a haven for immigrants seeking both freedom and increased prosperity from the oppressed and destitute societies that they left. So by the turn of the 20th century, capitalism had been successfully instituted on two continents. In Europe, not only Britain, but it spread to Western Europe during the 19th century, and of course in North America and the United States. Post World War II, we see the spread of capitalism into what's come to be known as the Asian tigers: Japan, Hong Kong, Taiwan, South Korea, et al. All of them flourishing, all of them freer and vastly more prosperous than any of the statist, non-capitalist societies where individual's life belongs not to himself but to the state. And so we see capitalism flourishing by this time on three continents, in Europe, North America, and in Asia. And I think this is the way for the oppressed and destitute nations of the world to rise up out of oppression and poverty and into freedom and prosperity. That's the essence of this talk, and that's what we will be discussing in Denver on Saturday, May 2nd.
Excellent, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. One thing I don't think you know is that I owe you a debt of gratitude. I went through a program called Leadership Program of the Rockies, and they have an award called the Defenders of Capitalism. And
really?
The only book that I consulted, other than what was required reading for the class, was the Capitalist Manifesto. And I used it as part of my talk in order to win that award. So I thank you for that.
Well, you're very welcome. You're very welcome, Jason. And maybe we should let people know beforehand that I'm the author of several books on capitalism: the Capitalist Manifesto, Capitalism Unbound, Capitalist Solutions, and I will have copies with me to sell and sign for people who want to purchase books that the author that the speaker has written.
Please join us for Dr. Bernstein's talk, Global Capitalism, the Cure for World Oppression and Poverty. To get more information, go to www.hungryminds.us.com. The event is May 2nd, 2015, from 5 to 9 p.m. at CBN Potts in the Denver Tech Center.